Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Ryan Makes Sense. I've got a wonderful video for you today. This is not only relevant to you, but for maybe your significant other, your family members, your cousins, and maybe even some of your coworkers. And this is relevant to people who are 18 all the way to age 60. This video is about when you can become work optional. I have some assumptions that take into account rent, mortgage, loans, electricity, water, internet, groceries, etc., gas. So I'll go over those. I'll make this shareable so you can edit this yourself. But essentially what I'm going to do is show you how you can become work optional at each stage of your life. Now, if you're 18, it's going to be a lot different to become work optional when you're 60. So I'll go over that. I'll show you how I'm coming up with my calculations, and we will go from there. Let's dive right in. Okay, just to be clear, work optional means you don't have to work, but maybe you want to. So you're still going to be getting income or distributions to cover your basics like internet, water, rent, mortgage, etc. But you're working to maybe get another benefit. For example, if I were to become work optional, I would probably work somewhere part-time to get maybe pizza or beer. I love pizza and I love beer. So maybe I'd work at a brewery or maybe a pizza restaurant, So it all just depends on what your plan is. So I'm going to go ahead and go over these assumptions. All right, so here is the assumptions list. If you have other categories that you want to expense, you can edit here. You can figure out your magic number, etc. So here we go. Categories, we have rent mortgage at $3,000, loans $150, groceries $800, gas $160, electricity $150, internet $100, water $100, entertainment $1,000. Who knows what you're doing for entertainment? Toiletry $75, clothes $50, health $500, and travel $1,000. This is all monthly, by the way. So that comes out to $7,000 a month or $85,020 a year. Again, you can tweak these to your liking. Maybe you don't need to spend that much money on entertainment and travel. Maybe you don't have you have electricity. Maybe you don't need to spend money on clothes, whatever. Maybe your health insurance is free. Do what you got to do. So this, again, are your assumptions. I made this up to be very lofty. This is not what my situation looks like at all. I just wanted to think in the future. In the future, how much is rent mortgage going to be? Loans, how much is groceries? I have groceries at $200 a week. That's kind of reasonable, right? And also entertainment, that could be for food out. So whatever makes you whole, basically. So now let's go into ages 18, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. All right, we are looking at ages 18 to essentially become work optional. I have selected the Roth IRA as the investment account option only because that is the most advantageous, desirable account you can have, especially when you're young. Because when you go to retire, you don't get taxed on any of your distributions. I'll talk more about that. So essentially what I have here is you can add $6,500 your first year and every year after that. The IRS has been increasing the contribution amount every year. So be on the lookout for that. Always max it out if you can. I am basing the dividend yield off of the S&P 500 and also the annual share growth from the S&P 500 as well. Do your own research. This is not financial advice. The S&P 500 has gone up between 8 and 12% ever since 1900. Fact check me, do your own research. So basically, if you wanted to take this nice and slow and live a normal, I guess, life, and you want to contribute the minimum, actually, in the IRA, it's the maximum. So if you start at 18 and you do $6,500 a month and you just put in the S&P 500, which is the top 500 stocks, to get to the assumptions amount, our amount is $85,020. So we're going to hit, I'm sorry, I should say something right here. We want the annual dividend amount to be over the 85,000. That's how much money you're going to get in income per year from your investments. So 85,000 is going to come at age 69. So age 69, this is the S&P 500. I'm just going to put over here SPY. That's the stock. You can't see it. Let me move my monitor. Okay, so if you're like me, you don't want to retire when you're 69. You started investing early. You want to get paid. What can you do? There are more aggressive stocks, ETFs that you can invest in. The S&P 500 is always a surefire way to just continuously add. It's the top 500 companies, so it's hard to miss. But what if you were to do, let's say, let's do Microsoft. There's Microsoft, there's Apple. I mean, there's so many. Let's do, ticker symbol is going to be MSFT. And you can do this for any stock you want. This is averageannualreturn.com. So over the last 10 years, Microsoft is at 27.62% returns. So annual share growth of, what was it, 27.6. So 27.6. And Microsoft's dividend, MSFT, I think they have a dividend, is 0.82. Okay, so a couple things here. You will not be able to survive only off the dividend for Microsoft because it's not enough. And I just messed this up, dang it. Percentage. Not 82%. 0.82%. There we go. Okay, Microsoft 0.82% dividend. So what you're going to have to do when you get to that place you want to be, let's go ahead and when are you going to hit $1 million? Let's find out. So at age 33, if you start at 18 and you put $6,500 into Microsoft every year, you would get to $1.2 million. Nice. Then what you could do is you could then sell off your Microsoft holding within your IRA. You're not selling your IRA. Within your IRA account, you could sell Microsoft. And what you could do is then move this 1.2 into a higher paying dividend stock. So, I mean, there's tons you can choose from. There's Realty Income, which is a 5% dividend. There's JEPI and JEPQ. Those are 10% plus. And again, this is your Roth IRA. So you technically do not have to pay any, no, you don't have to pay any taxes on your distributions. So just by going to Microsoft every year for, 15 years, you'll be at $1.2 million as long as Microsoft continues to produce 27% returns. Very exciting. So once you get to 1.2 million, yeah, I think if you just take, let's say you do Microsoft and you then roll it into JEPI or JEPQ, you guys can see my screen. So this is 11.43% dividend. So we're going to add the 1.28 million right here, and we're going to times it by 11%, 0.1143. You're going to get $140,000 a year. Comes out to $11,696 a month. There you go. I'm not a financial, I don't have any financial credentials. That's just what I would do. So with your Roth IRA, you have options. And literally for 15 years, even if you're 60, you could do the same freaking thing I just did. Right? Okay. So again, 18-year-olds now pay attention because as we move up the ladder, you're going to see a little bit different strategies. So age 18, let's move on to age 25. All right. We are on age 25 now, and it is a similar situation. I think 25 is still pretty young to start contributing to a Roth IRA. I think all the way up until you're 60, you can still do it. So again, if we do the Microsoft method of literally the dividend yield is 0.82. And the annual share growth is 20, what was it? 27.62. Once again, when you are 40, you will have a 1.2 million portfolio. Boom. There you go. And that's only, again, if Microsoft does its thing. But let's do something a little bit more, maybe slow and steady, just to check, just to, get a temperature gauge. Microsoft is not always going to be so crazy. So let's look at, we have Johnson & Johnson here, and then we also have ticker symbol O, which is Realty Income. Let's just look at Johnson & Johnson. So Johnson & Johnson has a 3.08% dividend. So let's just go back here and we'll put in 3.08. And the annual share growth, I'm just going to go to this website here. Again, averageannualreturn.com. And their average annual return is 8.9%. So average, let's just put 8%. So if you're 25 and you're starting a Roth IRA, it's not too late, but it's going to take you longer if you're going to go a method such as this. So again, our secret number was around 85,000. So at 20, let me just highlight it. At age 61, if you continue to just add Johnson & Johnson because you really care about that company, you could be at 2.8 million account value with an $86,000 dividend, which covers our assumptions list. So you can live comfortably-ish depending on what's going on in the future. As long as you can keep within those boundaries, maybe you have less, maybe you have more. That's why it's there for you. We could also change this to a dividend yield to look at Realty Income, which is ticker symbol O. This is a really solid dividend one as well. So this is a 5.2% dividend. And the average share growth over 10 years is 7%. So let's just change this to 7. So to get to that 80,000 number, we could do it around age 54. So quite a bit younger than 61. Again, we could do Microsoft again and that would put us at 0.82, and then it was 27%. Yeah, 27%. And you could get to a 1.162 million right here at age 40. Right here. Heck, even right here too. So age 39, if we take that 904,615, and we invest into JEPI, which is JEPI right here, we're going to get an 11.43% return, which is represented as 0.1143. That's $103,000 a year divided by 12. That's $8,600 a month. So very attractive. All right. Now let's move on to age 30. All right, we are now on to age 30. I started this out as S&P 500. Again, dividend yield of 1.5. 7%, something that's slow, steady, top 500 stocks. It's gone up ever since 1900s. So if to get to our 80,000 number, just by that alone, we'll be 75 years old. So that's a little bit out there for us. And if you notice, the starting principal is 25,000. So we're not in an IRA if we're 30. But we could do the Roth IRA, 6,500, adding 6,500 a year into, let's say, Microsoft, whatever stock you want. And again, just go and rewind a little bit, look at that. But now we're in a regular brokerage account where we are going to be taxed quite a bit. And since we are starting a little bit later than we should have at 18 or 20, 25, we're going to maybe be a little bit more aggressive. So maybe we don't want a dividend yield of 1.5. Maybe we'll do, we'll settle for the Realty Income. So that was the ticker symbol O right here. It's a 5.2% dividend. And on average, over the last 10 years, it's gone up 7%. So let's just add that in here really quick. 5.22, and it's gone up 7%. So now we put a starting amount of $25,000 in, and we're adding in $10,000 every year. So we're kind of playing catch up a little bit. So to get to our $80,000 number, we are 54. And again, we're going to feel that initial hit of $25,000 at the beginning, and then 10,000, like after that, it's just 10,000 a year. So it's not too bad. And that's if we're just investing in realty income. What if we did Microsoft? What if we did Apple? What if we just invested in JEPI? Like, what if we started at age 30 investing in JEPI? So we have 11.43% dividend. Let's just do it right here. 11.43. And let's say it goes up on average 4%, just being very, very conservative. As we can see, JEPI hasn't been around for too long, but January it went from 54 to 62. So that's well over almost, so like 10, between maybe 15%. And then the next year it went from 61 down to 53. So let's just say on average over its life, it's going to go up 4%. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just making these numbers up out of thin air. So starting with 25,000, then we're putting 10,000 away every year. Every year. $10,000 a year. $10,000. That's only $833 a month. You know, come on. Let's see, how much do you need to make $10,000 a year? $10,000 divided by 52 weeks in the year divided by $40 hours in a week. That's $4.80 an hour if you're working for 40 hours a week. So it's doable. So to get to our $80,000 number, we are 45 and maybe 46. Just because the 11% dividend is, it brings us to 80. But if we wait a year later, it's an extra 14,000. So the power of compounding, yes. But also these are going to be taxed. So you're going to be taxed at the 94,000 tax bracket. I don't know what that is off the top of my head. That I would look at your, talk to your CPA or financial advisor, because I'm not either of those. So maybe if you just work till you're 50, you're like, you know what? I'm going to make 173,000 in dividends. It's going to cover my taxes. I'm going to be set. Boom. Okay. Things are looking good. Let's move on to age 35. All right. We are at age 35. I'm not at 35. I'm at 33. Oh no. I will be 33 this year. Man, time just flies. Okay. So I'm starting a new trend now. You see I have $35,000 here, and we're going to be adding in 20,000 because every year we're losing that much power in compounding. Or you could just do the Microsoft trick that I taught you. Just kidding. I didn't teach you anything. I don't even know if it's real. So let's let's look at this. You're 35. Scary. Dividend yield is 5%. This is realty income, and it's annual share growth of 7%. 80,000 is our number, which is right here. 88,000. So at age 55, that's 20 years. If we just keep putting in $20,000 a year, it's kind of a lot. But we're playing catch up again. So that's a regular brokerage account. You could, I'm just going to refresh this for everybody. You could do the Roth IRA. Look how, if you're just investing in ticker symbol O, 67 is the retirement age when you have to take distributions. So at 67, if you start at 35, you're not too late. But by the time you're 67, you're going to make 111,000 a year in dividend-free income. That's sweet. So you can make it happen. And again, we can do the Microsoft trick, which is a 0.82%. And they have averaged 27%. And if you're asking, where the hell am I getting these numbers? Here is Microsoft's average annual return, 27% highlighted right here. And then their dividend is 0.82% right here. Oof, okay. So, yep, starting 6,500. Once our account gets to 1 million, right here, at age 50, we're gonna hit the brakes, and we're gonna flip the 1.62 into like something like Jeppy, which I need to just open a new tab. Jeppy is 11.43%. Or you can do JEPQ. I'll introduce JEPQ. They are brothers and sisters. JEPI, JEPI, and JEPQ are brothers and sisters. This one's a 12% dividend right here. And as you can see, it's barely been around for a year. So once we flip that 1.12 into JEPQ, so $1,162,779 times 0.1, that's 12%. That's $139,000 a year. It's in a Roth IRA. Boom! You're set, you guys. Divide this by 12, so each month you're going to get 11,627. Awesome. Cool. Let's move on to age 40. All right, we are at age 40. As you can see, I have a $40,000 starting point with a $20,000 annual contribution. Let's chop that, and we're going to start a Roth IRA here at $6,500 first year and $6,500 next year. For the average 40-year-old, that is not ideal, but given that Microsoft is crazy, I think Microsoft is an outlier. Let's do Johnson & Johnson. Or I'm sorry, let's do Realty Income. So a dividend yield of 5.2% and a 7% gain. If you started a Roth IRA at 40, to hit our assumptions list, you would have to work until you're 60. You'd have to contribute until you're 69, but you do have to start taking distributions at 67. So a little bit of a conundrum there. Let's say you have a regular brokerage account and you do what I just had originally. So you're at 40, save up to 40,000, man. So 40,000 and put in 20,000 a year on top of that into the same stock. You go from 69 retiring to 60. So you save yourself 9 years. You'll never get your time back, but that's 9 years. And that is awesome. Also, what we could do is, since this is a regular brokerage account, let's check Microsoft. Let's do 0.82 and their dividend. Oh, I have their dividend. Their annual share growth is 27%. Again, once you get to these levels right here, like $2 million net worth, flip it into JEPI or JEPQ. 12, that's 12%. So like you have $2 million account and times that by 11.1134% times 12. Again, I did the wrong math there. $2 million account, and you're going to get paid 11% being in JEPI, or you can get 12% JEPQ. That's $226,000 a year. You're well above our threshold, and if we divide that by 12, that's $18,900 a month. So again, 40 to 52, if you start out with 40,000 cash into Microsoft and 20,000 thereafter, year after year, as long as Microsoft goes up 27%, again, that's just kind of crazy. I wouldn't say expect those kind of gains ever, but yeah. So let's move on to age 45. All right, age 45, we're starting out with $45,000. Huzzah! But let's say you have nothing to start out with but your Roth IRA. 6,500, and you're going to contribute 6,500 a year. Very scary again to be doing that because that is very late in the game. And let's say you're just investing into realty income, ticker symbol O, 5% dividend yield, and the stock appreciates 7% every year. Let's see when you can get to that 80-some thousand dollar assumption mark. This is right here, age 75. That's pretty crazy because at 67, you have to start taking distributions right here. So that's a little scary, you know, to be starting a Roth IRA that late. Or you could do your, let's say you have $45,000 and you can contribute $10,000 a year into the same stock. The assumptions number goes to 89 years old. I mean, 89, where did I get that? 76. Okay, I'm missing a zero here. Let me take that back. I was wondering why it was later. I was like, what? Okay, you're gonna put in 10,000 a year. There we go. Now you should be retiring earlier. Okay, the right here, age 69. So you went from 75 to 69. That's awesome. And this is a regular brokerage account, so you are going to be taxed. So keep that in mind. Let's say you did this and you went into Apple. Let's do Apple now. AAPL. And Apple, let's see what their dividend is. I think they have a dividend. Okay, they have a dividend of 0.55%, so I'm just going to update that here. 0.55%, and the average annual return of Apple is 28% for the last 10 years. It's a lot. So if you just started at 45 with 45,000 and you put in Apple, again, once your account gets to these levels right here, I think you are okay to look into getting into a higher paying dividend stock so you get income coming in. So even if you're at 2.6 million, 2658 million 007, and let's say you just get a 5% dividend return times 0.05, that's $132,000 a year. So you could put that into ticker symbol O. Or if you wanted to do 2.6 million and you want to get 11% on your money, you're going to get quite a bit more, 303,000 a year. Again, it all depends on how you want to swing things, but I'm just trying to reiterate, I'm not trying to beat a horse over the head. I don't know what the term is, but it's even at 45, it's not too late. It sounds late. It's scary. It's not ideal, but 25,000 a month. Awesome. All right, going on to age 50. All right, we are at age 50. It's crazy. If you are 50 years old today, literally 25 years from now, you're going to be 75 and it's going to be 2048. Crazy. Okay. So again, 50 years old, starting out with 50,000. You may not have 50,000. We'll go through that. So, starting with 50,000 at age 50, and you're going to put in $20,000 away every year. And this is reflecting ticker symbol O, realty income, a 5.2% dividend. We're doing 5%, with the share appreciating 7% over the last 10 years. Our assumptions numbers are on 80,000, so right here. So if you are fortunate enough to have $50,000 at age 50, congrats. I don't think that's the case for everybody. So at age 69, if you were to do 50,000 this year into ticker symbol O and then 20,000 year after, you could have 84,000 whatever by age 69. Again, that's if the dividend yield stays the same and the stock appreciates 7% over the next plus years. I can't predict the future. Nobody can. So talk to your CPA, figure out what's good for you. let's look, if we did the same thing here and we invested in Apple, let's say Apple does the same thing. So it's 0.55% dividend and Apple went up 28%. So what we want here is just our account to get to over the 1 million range. So right here, age 59. So 59 to 63. If Apple does what it's been doing and you have 50,000, this is what your account could look like. I'm going to make this, I'm going to make this green because if you have $50,000 at 50, congrats. Let's do the IRA trick. So at age 50, you can actually contribute 1,000 more. So 7,500 and 7,500 here. That is the catch up. I forget the term of it, but it's basically trying to catch up for your IRA. So if you were to invest in your Roth IRA starting today or this year, you could then get to the same amounts. Let's do age 64 just because, I mean, we want to be able to be comfortable. So at age 64, we're going to sell our Apple at, once our account gets to 1.1 million, and we're going to flip the 110144 into, wrong number, 1110, dang it. Yep, it's 3 ones, 144. And we're going to put that into JEPI, that pays 11%. That pays 126,000 a year. We're good. We're feeling okay. At age 50, this is all based off of history. I can't predict history, so talk to your CPA. If you're age 50, you're gonna have to be really aggressive. So Apple is, I would say, a growth stock. So just reach out to your CPAs, reach out to your people, figure this out. But I'm going to show you it's never too late to start investing. It's not. All right, let's go to age 55. We are at age 55. Ooh. Okay, our starting principal is 55,000, 20,000 a year, trying to catch up. This is a regular brokerage account because, yeah, you can do the IRA. We'll do the IRA thing in a minute. Again, this is based off of realty income here. I chose realty income just because doing the S&P 500 at age 55 is not ideal. Let's just look at it. 1.54%, 7% yield. So if you did this into the S&P 500 to get to our, we would take our money around $1 million right here. Age 73, 74. We would want to flip this into a dividend paying account. So 10% or 11% of 1 million is going to be around 100,000 a year. Definitely going to cover our assumptions list. That's again if you have $55,000 to throw in. If you did the same thing to Microsoft, that's a 0.82, and it's growing at 27%. Much better. Again, we want to get to the 1 million account value right here. Age 54, again, age 64, it's doable. But again, that's assuming Apple, Microsoft, blah, 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 is going to have the same returns. So let's say we have no money. We're going to start a Roth IRA this year. So you can do 7,500 because you're over 50. And you're going to contribute the maximum into your Roth IRA. Why would you want to start a Roth IRA at this old? Number one, you don't get taxed on your freaking distributions. So double thumbs up. You have a long way to go. So if you're doing this, and you have to be aggressive here. Nobody can choose for you. Not even your CPA or financial advisor. They can't choose for you. You have to choose yourself. You have to be aggressive here, and it sucks because that means volatility. You could be planning to retire, like let's say our account's going to get to 1 million at 69 right here. But what if they have a bad year? Like what if they go down 50% like they did for the Great Lockdown? Then your 1 million is now 550,000, and it's, it's scary being 55. So plan accordingly, talk to your people. Again, once you get to a $1 million account value, we're going to flip it into a JEPI or JEPQ. That's an 12% dividend. That's around 100 and some thousand a year for you. So congrats. I hope it works out. Let's move on to age 60. All right, we have made it to age 60. We're starting investing this year at age 60. Let's say we have $60,000 to our name. Kind of unlikely, but let's, the spirit of, ageism. I guess the spirit of pattern that I've been doing, not ageism. What am I talking about? Okay, you're 60. You're going to start saving for retirement this year. You put $60,000 into an account. This is a regular brokerage. Talk to your CPA, whatever. We'll look at the IRA in a minute. So $60,000, you're going to put $20,000 in every year after that. This is representing ticker symbol O, realty income. So to get to our $80,000 assumptions list, you're going to be 79. 79. So let's take this and we're going to be aggressive. We're going to go into Apple. Apple has a 0.55% dividend, which is not what we want. We want to get to our account to 1 million. And Apple grew at 28% for the last 10 years. So if Apple does what it did and it stays the same, our account could get to 1 million by 69. So that shaves off 10 years. That shaves off 10 years for us if we have 60 freaking thousand to invest. But let's be a little bit realistic. Let's do, we're going to open a Roth IRA at the age of 60. And we can only put in $7,500 a year. So, if Apple does the same performance that it's been doing, it's, age 74, 75, we can get to a $1 million portfolio if Apple does what it's been doing. Once we hit that 7-figure portfolio, we're going to flip that into a dividend paying stock so we're going to chill. Age 74, we'll have $1 million Roth IRA. Right here, 1110144. Again, we'll put that into a JEPQ, paying 11%. I did the wrong thing. 1110144. And we're going to get 11% on that. So 126,000 a year. Not bad. I hope. I don't know. Nobody can forecast what the future will be like. So I would definitely talk to your CPA, talk to your financial advisor. Again, I'm just hammering it in your brain. It's not too late to invest. If you do start late, there is hope. It's scary, but there's hope. So I hope you found this video encouraging. Please share it. I hope you're doing well. If you made this far, please consider subscribing. Hit the like button. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.